Picture this. Taylor Swift, international superstar, walks into the Black Dog pub and no one bats an eye. It's just another ordinary day in this cozy local watering hole. The patrons, a motley crew of regulars, are engrossed in their pints and conversations, oblivious to the platinum-selling artist in their midst. Our bartender for the day, a young chap named Benny, is the only one who recognizes her. His eyes go wide as saucers, but he plays it cool, not wanting to blow her cover. After all, it's not every day that you serve a pop icon her favorite pint. Meanwhile, Taylor Swift, dressed in her casual attire, a simple tee, jeans, and a baseball cap, is enjoying her anonymity. She's got that red lip classic thing that we like, but today she's just another face in the crowd. Swift's incognito mode is working perfectly, a stark contrast to the glitz and glamour that usually surrounds her. The jukebox in the corner churns out hit after hit, a medley of tunes that have topped the charts and won hearts worldwide. And amongst them are Swift's own songs, her melodies filling the air, unbeknownst to the patrons that the creator of those tunes is sitting right there, sipping her pint and humming along quietly. The irony of the situation is almost too delicious to bear. The Black Dog pub, a place where everyone knows your name, is playing host to a guest whose name is known by millions. Yet here, she's just another patron. The scene is set, the characters are in place, and the stage is ripe for the prank of the century. The pop star, the pub, and the patrons, all blissfully unaware of the hilarity that's about to ensue. So there she was, Taylor Swift, blending in with the crowd at the Black Dog pub, all while the jukebox played her hits. While enjoying her anonymity, Swift decides to pull a prank on the unsuspecting pub goers. Picture this: a world-renowned pop star, tucked away in the corner of a humble pub, decides to entertain herself by playing a little joke. That's right, folks. Taylor Swift in all her glory found herself immersed in the pub's local culture. Karaoke night, she thought, what better way to prank this unsuspecting crowd than to sing one of my own songs? And so, with a cheeky glint in her eye and a mischievous smile on her face, she put her name down on the karaoke list. The song of choice? Why, none other than her chart topper, Shake It Off. Now imagine being in that crowd, you're enjoying your pint. The atmosphere is buzzing with that warm, friendly vibe that only a local pub can provide. And then this unknown woman steps onto the stage. She starts to sing, and the song sounds familiar. Very familiar. Some of the crowd were amused. A few laughter-filled whispers of, "She sounds just like Taylor Swift," floated around the room. Isn't it funny how a few pints can make anyone sound like a Grammy-winning artist? Others were confused. They tilted their heads, furrowed their brows, and squinted their eyes, trying to place why this woman's voice sounded so strikingly similar to that of the pop star herself. And then there were those who were completely oblivious, too engrossed in their own world to notice the uncanny performance unfolding before them. They continued their conversations, unaware of the prank being played. But there she was, Taylor Swift, singing her heart out to Shake It Off in a small pub, to a crowd of people who had no idea they were being serenaded by the actual artist herself. She sang every word with a sense of joy and mischief, relishing in the anonymity and the opportunity to make this a night to remember, for herself and for the unsuspecting pub goers. And so, Taylor Swift, under the guise of a regular patron, sang Shake It Off to a crowd of unsuspecting fans. As the last notes of Shake It Off echoed through the pub, Swift decided it was time to drop the act. The karaoke machine hummed into silence, and the room held its breath, waiting for the next performer. But instead, the unassuming blonde at the microphone did something no one expected. "Okay, guys," she began, her voice a little shaky but unmistakably familiar. "I have a confession to make. I'm not just a karaoke enthusiast. I'm Taylor Swift." The pub went silent for a moment. You could hear a pin drop. The patrons blinked, rubbed their eyes, and blinked again. Was this some kind of joke? But as they looked at the woman standing on the stage, her blue eyes twinkling with mischief, they realized it was no prank. The woman who just belted out Shake It Off with such gusto was none other than the pop superstar herself. Shock and disbelief swept through the crowd. People's mouths hung open, their beers forgotten. The guy in the corner who'd been nursing his whiskey all night nearly choked on his drink. The room was a whirlwind of emotion: surprise, disbelief, excitement, and awe. And then, the applause started. It began as a slow clap from a woman at the back, her eyes wide with awe. Then it built, growing louder and louder until the whole pub was on its feet, clapping, cheering, and whistling. The air was electric, the energy palpable. It was a standing ovation fit for a queen. A pop queen. The bartender, a gruff man who'd seen it all, was stunned into silence. He'd served many customers in his time, but a pop star doing karaoke in his pub? That was a first. He shook his head, a slow smile spreading across his face. This was going to be a night to remember. And just like that, the Black Dog Pub went from a regular watering hole to the site of an impromptu Taylor Swift concert. The morning after, the Black Dog Pub was the talk of the town. And why wouldn't it be? After all, it's not every day that Taylor Swift pulls off a prank in your local watering hole. In the cold light of day, the pub awoke to a newfound fame. The sleepy little establishment was suddenly thrust into the spotlight, basking in the glow of its unexpected celebrity. The phone was ringing off the hook with news agencies and curious Swifties from all over trying to get a piece of the story. Meanwhile, the regulars were in high spirits, chuckling over pints as they retold their stories of the night before. From the unsuspecting karaoke challenger to the bartender who served Taylor Swift her drink, everyone was a minor celebrity in their own right. The anecdotes were as varied as they were hilarious, each one adding a new layer to the legend of the Black Dog Pub. And the internet? Well, it was having a field day. Social media was buzzing with hashtags and viral posts about the prank. Fans were sharing photos, videos, and memes, all in the spirit of good fun. Even those who weren't there felt a part of the action, sharing in the joy and humor of the once-in-a-lifetime event. But amidst all the excitement, what stood out the most was the sheer joy the event brought to the pub and its patrons. The prank wasn't just a fun diversion, it was a moment of shared laughter and camaraderie that uplifted everyone involved. It was a reminder of the power of music and a good prank to bring people together, even in the most unlikely of places. And so, as the dust settled and the media frenzy died down, life at the Black Dog Pub went back to normal. The regulars returned to their usual routines, the jukebox played its familiar tunes, and the bartender served drinks with a knowing smile. But in the hearts of its patrons, the pub was forever changed. Life at the Black Dog Pub went back to normal, but the patrons will always have that one night when Taylor Swift walked in and sang karaoke. The Black Dog Pub's encounter with Taylor Swift is a story that will be told and retold for years to come. This isn't just a tale of a pop star pulling a prank, but a testament to Swift's down-to-earth personality and her ability to connect with people from all walks of life. The impact of that night was felt far beyond the morning after. The regulars at the Black Dog Pub still recount the story with twinkles in their eyes, their laughter echoing off the pub's walls. Every corner of the pub is imbued with the memory of that night, a constant reminder of the joy and laughter that Taylor Swift brought to their ordinary lives. But the story didn't just stay within the confines of the pub. Word spread, as words do, and soon the Black Dog Pub became a local legend. People flocked to this once humble establishment, hoping to catch a glimpse of the pop star, or perhaps experience their own unexpected karaoke night. The prank also painted a new image for Swift, one that showcased her sense of humor and relatability. It wasn't just about the prank itself, but the way she pulled it off, blending in with the crowd, becoming one of the regulars, if only for a night. It showed a side of Taylor Swift that fans and non-fans alike could appreciate. Her ability to be just another person in the pub, enjoying a night of fun and music. And so, the legacy of the prank lives on. In the smiles of the pub's patrons, in the increased footfalls, in the heartwarming tales shared over a pint of beer, it serves as a reminder that celebrities are just like us, capable of light-hearted pranks and a good laugh. It's a story that bridges the gap between the stage and the audience, the famous and the fans. And that, my friends, is the story of how Taylor Swift turned an ordinary night at the Black Dog Pub into a night to remember. A story of laughter, camaraderie, and the power of a good prank.